God, look at that, sports fans. Cleaning. Getting the silage bit ready for maize. I know we're a long way away. Just giving it a good old clean down. Abby's doing a lovely spot of scraping as well. Whoa! Hi, Josh. Richard, the hooligan. So look at this. The new drain, which is obviously not finished yet, is working perfectly. There will be a bit of channel that comes out to here, so this stuff that's going past will get caught. But obviously you haven't done it yet, so not to worry, but it is working perfectly. The pit's about half washed. Abby's been scraping it away as I've been washing, so we're nearly there with that one. We're going to start feeding the cows probably tomorrow along that feed fence there, so I'm going to brush all that up in a minute. But we got some pulse tubes in the parlour giving us some jip, which is what these are, little black tubes. So I'm going to take the box in and fix them. I also snapped one of the pull cords for the feeders this morning. I can only just reach it now on my tiptoes, which means that no one else is going to be able to reach it at all. So I better fix that as well. So just to show you what I mean about this pull cord, this is the height they normally are. So I have them above my head so I don't whack myself when I'm feeding in the mornings or whatever, or milking. But the one behind, this one snapped this morning. I can just about reach that on tiptoes. I had to lash it up a bit rubbishy up there this morning, so that's why it's so short. But I got a roll of the stuff down here, so we'll take it up there and see what we can do. So this is my horrible knot that I put in this morning. You can see where it broke. Didn't hold on very well. The trouble I have is there's these little rollers everywhere that guide the rope back down to the pit, and you don't want a knot anywhere near them, because if a knot goes through, it won't then come back through this way. This is all just on gravity and these things pulling down. So if you have a knot go through that roller, it's not going to come back through, because you're going to have to pull it that way and it won't push itself back. And the same there, I don't want one there. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put a whole new piece in. Otherwise you just end up with knots everywhere. And that's no good. So I'm going to take that off there, join a new piece on, and go all the way down there. No one tell Rob that we're using mass amounts of new cord. Now the tricky part of this job is going to be getting it through the handle, because it's a tight hole. But where there's a will and a sharp knife, there's a way. Probably not good life advice. Right, we will keep this bit because it is a good length of cord. Not ideal for this job. Right, got that out. It's not getting it out I was worried about, it's getting it in. The other thing is I've got to do this without pulling on this, because I'll end up filling up the fingers with cake. And I'll never get the cows in later on. We've got to be delicate here. In other news, we had 3 more calves spawn overnight, so 3 more cows added to the milking herd. We have a policy, I say Rob has a policy of quarter testing every cow before they get put into the tank, using the California milk test, if anyone's heard of that. So you take a sample of milk from each quarter into a little paddle, add some fluid, it's called CMT. Of course the compressor would kick in. It's better, I can hear myself think again. So yes, we CMT everything before it goes in the tank. Now we ran out of the liquid that you put with the milk to see whether it's carrying a high cell count or not last night whilst we were milking, and we didn't have any spare here. So this morning everything that was red and out of the tank, so in the antibiotic group this morning, just stayed out the tank. And Rob's actually off farm for a couple of hours this morning, so he's going to pick up some more fluid on his way home. So tonight we should have a load of cows to go in the tank, so that'll be good. Get them milking, get the bulk tank milk up. This knot is proving difficult. I don't want to cut myself or cut the wrong thing. Hooray! Right, so there's our loop that we want to join into. Now I imagine we've got to reverse engineer this so that we fit the handle first. Do you want to fit the handle first? No, I'll hit the handle last. Right, so we will take our spool of wire. What I do want to do though is feed it in from the rollers first. That's what I knew I wanted to do. Intermission music. Right, we're now threaded through the rollers. The spool's down there. So we're just going to join this on here. And we'll get that the right length, cut it, and stick the handle on. What would be nice is some of those little metal ties. I doubt I'll get a zip tie tight enough to stay on there. Right, I think we're getting somewhere. I just realised these little red things here like a nut and bolt, but they got a gap down the middle of the bolt piece so that you can thread some string down and then tighten it up and it keeps the string inside. So what I've done is just tied a simple knot on one end of this new cord, put it down through the middle of there, you can see, along with the piece that goes down into this feeder. There's a flap on the end of there that lets the cake out, and then also the piece that runs to the next one, because they're in batches of this one 4, is it? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully now when we pull this new cord via the handle down there, it will open up this, that and that. Problem is I can't really test it, because if I test it I'll end up with cake everywhere. I'll just have to test it later, I suppose. Right, now as you can see, the hole in this handle is smaller than the end of this piece of string, so getting that in there is not going to be very easy. Now ideally what I want to do is get a lighter or something and just singe the end of this so it like melts and goes hard. So that would be ideal, but I haven't got a lighter handy. So I'm going to try putting a little bit of tape round just to make the end smooth. See if that'll work. Right, so now we've got a smooth end. Might just be able to pinch it up enough to poke it through the hole. Oh, it's close. It is close. We'll persevere for a second though. Right, what's happening here is as I'm screwing this through, which is working a treat, the tape's staying behind. So I reckon if I can get the tape off this side, we'll be away. Without obviously pulling the cord back through the wrong way. Probably could have driven to a shop and bought a lighter by now. We did it! Right, and there we have it. One perfectly fixed working feeder rope. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. It took way longer than it should have. Alright, just whilst we're in the parlour, give you a bit of an update on the mats. These easy fix mats are absolutely brilliant. They've been in, probably 3-4 weeks now. And they are just absolutely fantastic. The cows love them. I reckon it stops them dancing. And what I mean by that is like moving their feet up and down whilst the units are on. The only thing we've had is with the heifers, they don't like coming over the drain onto the mat from the concrete. Just for the first or second time they come in as a fresh calver. That's as much to do with the drain, I think, as it is the mats. But once they've been over a couple times, absolutely no bother at all. Cow flow's brilliant. You've always got a gang of cows there waiting once they're on the mats. And actually probably the worst thing about them is they go out the front and then they just stop because they don't want to go off the mat onto the concrete. Which is exactly why Charlie said when they lay them, they make sure they do enough behind and also in front of the parlour to get the cows on, but then also get them off and away, because 24 cows in that little space at the front of the parlour is quite tight. Yeah, you can see they probably look a bit dirty. That's a footprint from when I've been farting around here with that feeder. But I mean, they're easy to wash down. They're secured just by a few screws. I mean, you saw us doing it. And yeah, really happy with those mats. Anyway, I've digressed. This is what I've come in to do. Right, these pulse lines are what makes the cow milk. So they are and pulls from one half of the cluster at any one time. They fit on here on the units. I've actually taken the back clusters off just to get access a bit better. And what happens over time is because they bend slightly where they fit on and flex, you end up with little holes in them. So I don't know if you can see that little hole in there. And then they start sucking air, and that is no good. It annoys me, the sound, because you can hear it. And also they're sucking in dirty air and water and muck and whatever. It's no good. Because if you ever need to cut one, I've only got one split here, but they need to be pretty much the same length. So I'm going to cut them about there somewhere, cut the perished ends off. I need to go and get a cup of hot water, because the diameter of the tube when you cut it to a fresh piece is a lot narrower than the piece it fits on. So a cup of hot water, soak them, get them loose, they should just pop right on. Right, there we are. We got, I was going to say a nice flush end. I would have cut that one a bit straighter really. Yeah, that's better. Helps if your knife is sharp. Right, 1 cup of very hot water. Just soak that in there for 30 seconds. Right, you're not going to be able to see this very easy, but they are an absolute pig of a thing to get on. Which is why you soak them in hot water. You need like 3 hands. Right, there we go. Just sort of stick the cluster shells back in. They are also an absolute pig to get in. There's a bit of a technique to it. Some are nicer than others. Well, that certainly made me feel better. All that means now is I fix one leak, I'll be able to hear the next loudest one. Right, all done in here. Let's go and do something productive outside. Right, I never made it outside. I decided I would tackle the problem of the leaking iodine gun at the front of the parlour, which has been winding me up no end as well. Isn't it, with all this iodine on the floor, and it's just slippery and horrible. And in the process of repairing it, I actually made it about 10 times worse. Now luckily for me, Rob is not on the farm this morning, so I made a very rash decision, backed up by Rich of course, to install the new coil. It's been sitting in the parts store for a long time. Now it wasn't this one that was leaking, it was actually the one at the front. But this is obviously quite short, and the one at the front gets used the most and does the most cows. So what I've done is I've taken the one that was second, put it at the front, it's got this little extension in it as well, and I put this one second. So now we've got a new gun. The problem with these things is they go brittle on the ends, and as soon as they get off square or they join on a bend like that is, they leak and they're no good, and you might as well just chuck them away. So that's what I'm doing. Right, over with the Keenan wagon. So this, we haven't started feeding yet because we needed a part to go in here, and we've had it actually made rather than bought. The old one rotted out. This side has been done before, so this piece was made up by a local company, and they've done exactly the same for us on the other side. So look at that. Beautiful, chunky steel. Now, they've done the part, profiled it all out last week. The bit we were waiting for is these tabs to be bent. They couldn't do that where they had it. They had to send it to another workshop, get it done properly. Basically that slots up in there, bolt on. So we're trying to get that done this afternoon, and tomorrow we can open that pit and feed some cows, just a little bit of buffer feed. Well, how about this for a transformation? Now I didn't realise at the time, but the reason we're cleaning the pit is because the rape meal was starting to arrive. So there is one Arctic load of rapeseed meal. That will be incorporated into the maize silage when that goes in this pit. Probably start filling the next door pit first. But basically, for every trailer load of maize that comes in, you get a big bucket full of that on it. All gets buck raked away and mixed in nicely. Abby's just scraping up the last of the stuff that we've washed out the pit there. Obviously we've got to move that at some point. And we probably need to shovel out this drain. But yeah, you wouldn't realise how much dust and grit and soil and that gets on the concrete just from driving around on it. And there's a fairly good comparison there. Clean, not clean.
I'll take you the bumpy way. I didn't want to run over the already splashing water part.
Oh, I see.
That would have made absolutely no difference to after the tractor done 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The 275 car, after we said the electric and it's all.
The fair size car.
I back up to that one then, and then we'll pick up the blue on the way home.
Oh, there he is.
See it?
Yep.
Yeah. Right, 275, 137 and 271 is it?
That's who I think it is, but they've got cleaners taken up.
Yeah, was it 137 you said? Right, Nick.
I want to turn and pace upwards.
I thought you'd start
I thought my lungs was coming back up. Oh, this one's sucking this one. Hello, calves. And that is how you collect calves in style. 3 calves, 1 today. So they'll get milk tonight and have their colostrum in a minute. Right, milking time it is. We cleared all that up earlier, ready for feeding. Set the tank. Milk in the tank. Easy as that. Right, it is now Friday morning. The last bit of footage you were seeing was from Wednesday. Thursdays are my day off, so I've had a nice little rest in between then and now. Look what happened yesterday whilst we weren't here. Feeding has begun. Currently we've got what we call the red group in here. Now, the red group is anything that is out the tank, so it's mainly fresh calvers. And there's 2 that were being treated for mastitis as they calved in. But what's nice about this is the red group, they're like the ones you want to keep a really close eye on as they calve in. So they've got access to feed in here. They can also go in the cubicles. I mean, that's a heifer, I think, in there, lied down, so that's ideal. Cubicle training as a go. And it just means that with the weather now wet, which is very good because we need that grass to grow, we know they're getting a good belly fill during the day. And then what we'll do is we'll put a bit more silage here later on. And then once we milk the cows tonight, the main herd, they'll come in here for a couple hours after milking just to get a belly full of silage as well. Yeah, just because grass growth is really, really behind. We're currently at 8.5 kilos of dry matter per hectare per day on the last plate walk. So yeah, that's next to nothing. Hopefully this rain we've had will give it a right old kick up the back so I can get it going. But yeah, loving life, look. You'll see more of these in the winter and when we TV test and everything, but these are all locking yokes. So they're obviously turned down at the moment, so these guys can feed. But if you pull the handle up every third run, so there's one here, look, for these 3 runs. Pull that handle over. Come on, Josh, you had your Weetabix. These then lock in like that. Better unlock that, and we'll just forget, and we'll have a load of cows locked in. Yeah, so that's good. Anyway, this morning, Rob and Rich, and I think Abby as well, might have just gone off to get the next group of dry cows home. So we're going to bring the big group of dry cows home, sort out the ones we want to keep here. So I think there's 35 or so we want to keep back. We'll split them out and then send the rest back to where they come from. We'll then put the ones we split out back to the parlour, split them into dairy and beef again like you've seen us do before. And that might be the last time we do that. I think that might be the last lot for the dairy lot involved. So anyway, we're just washing through, so I've got another couple of minutes and I'll be ready. It should all time itself well that the cows come back. I finished washing up. The job's a good one. Oh, looky what we have here. Some cows. Morning, girls. How was your commute? That good, huh? I should probably go find some paperwork. So in this folder here, again, we have the numbers of the cows that we want to keep back, and also whether they're going in the dairy or the beef mob. Mainly beef now, we're getting towards the end of the dairy. I think Rob served for 3 weeks to dairy at the start of last breeding season, so we're about 10 days into our actual calving from when we were planned to start. And we're up to about 150 cows calved already. Considering they've been living outside on hay and standing hay, I think they're looking spot on. Really, really good. Look at the locomotion on that. Back feet landing on front feet, oh. Perfect.
Yeah, it should be more out the front yard to start with. 193 out. 1 out. Come on, mother. You can come back next time. Like so. Hello. You gonna follow your mum? 53. Here, hold that. Look at me new mate. Aye, cat. Where's he gone?
He's going to show it on the back still.
fairly friendly.
He can join Wilson.
Yes. I'll take him home.
Give him the Gus.
Yeah, I don't. Have we? Rob has no idea what's going on.
No.
He's the wrong colour for Gus.
Gus would love him, he'd just tear him to pieces.
Yeah.
He'll come down in a minute and go, what the hell is going on? My little pigeon friend. I have to look after him now, feed him.
Yeah, you don't have to now.
I'll find him some worm.
You got Daisy Doris and a pet pigeon.
Yep. Right, I'm absolutely drenched. We've been up the top playing with wheat bins, trying to get all that ready so that we can start blowing all the wheat that's in the centre passageway over there into the bins at some point. Rob's fed the cows again, ready for tonight. So you can see here, this is just out the silage pit. You see all the wheat mixed in with it. That's from when they actually ensile it. So they tip a bucketful on the grass as it comes in the trailers and bulldoze it all in with a butt rake. We've got our little squab Simon here, enjoying a bit. I think he's some form of dove. He's got a little dove tail. And he's obviously fallen out his parents' nest, which I don't know where that is. I feel a bit sorry for him because I don't really know what to do with him. Find him some worms. He's fairly lively, look. I don't really want to put him out of his misery if we can do something for him, but I thought I'd leave him there and he can pick us some wheat or something. His legs work well enough, look. I swear something will find him. Anyway, it's absolutely horrible weather, which is absolutely brilliant because we need the rain. So I'm quite happy about that. But it's lunchtime, I'm wet. I'm going home for a shower. And then come back, milk some cows. Day will be done. Right, we're in executive travel this afternoon. We're in the wife's car. The tyre pressures have been playing up, apparently, so I just took it into work and Rob helped me pump them up. So they should all now be the same. It was saying one was ever so slightly low, and it was throwing an absolute hissy fit about it, but I think they're absolutely fine. I think it's a sensors or something. Anyway, it is Friday evening. I'm going home. This weekend I'm having a birthday party because I'm turning old and I'm going to be 30 next week. So Abby's organised a party for everyone. So if you're watching this Sunday morning, I'm either out playing golf or hanging out my backside, one of the two. Simon the squab, the little collared dove thing, he was exactly where I left him when I come back after lunch, and he tried to fly off, and he did half fly away, so hopefully he's found his way somewhere. I couldn't find him just now after milking. But anyway, cows are all in, having a good old gut full of silage, and then they'll be shut out in a couple of hours time or something like that. We have had a monumental amount of rain. I mean, look at this. I think Rich said there was 35, oh, that's a bad pole. I think there was 35 mil in the rain gauge from yesterday, and then whatever we've had today. Oh, they're bringing sheep home. I don't know who decides to bring sheep in at 5:30 on a Friday afternoon, but that's what's going on. So I'm having to reverse miles back, and I'm going home a different way because I'm not waiting for them. But anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. I'll try and get back to your comments on Sunday if I'm able to. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on another one very soon. Cheerio!
Like a drug that I just can't